is Travis, and I'm here today to answer some of your questions about pork production. It's a common misconception that pork isn't as safe as far as food safety-wise as other meats. Pork's actually just as safe, and the reason it used to not be as safe, or why there's problems with it, is because back with our grandparents, trichinella used to be present in pork. And what trichinella is a little nematode in pork that actually, it's a parasite and infects the pork, and also can infect us if pork's not cooked long enough. But due to management practices and the knowledge of where trichinella comes from, we've been able to, and the eradication of meats, it's no longer found present in pork. We used to actually test for trichinella in pork, but all the testing done with it was never found any positive pork. So we actually don't even test because we're not even worried about it. And so yes, pork is just as safe as other meats such as beef, and should be cooked, and only have to be cooked to 145 degrees Fahrenheit. A lot of people don't like pork because they consider it to be a dry, white, crumbly meat when cooked. And the biggest reason for that is just like it's due to the first question. It's because we still cook it to 165 degrees Fahrenheit when it only has to be cooked to 145. And by just cooking that, that'll make the biggest improvement on pork. Another issue with pork quality, though, I'm also asked, is why is bacon such a fatty cut? And I want meatier bacon. Well, bacon's a belly cut, so it is going to be a fatty cut. There's really no way around that. But sometimes in America, we do actually have fattier pork than in other countries. And the reason why is because we grow so much corn, and the cost of feeding them to 90 kilograms, which is optimum slaughter date, to 120 kilograms, which we use in the U.S., it's cheaper and it actually becomes more profitable. And many consumers don't actually know this or understand this. And so as soon as consumers start to know this, understand this, and want this and require this, the U.S. can actually change from 120 to 90 kilograms, but it just needs, consumers just need to be educated and understand why, and to influence the producers to change. Another issue with the well-being of pigs in pork production is gestation stalls. Gestation stalls are a stall which allows so that there's a minimum space required that's considered humane for a gestating sow. A lot of companies nowadays are actually voiding out gestation stalls and going to gestation pens, where gestation pen is a larger pen that houses a couple of sows. A lot of people believe that, or the issue what a lot of people claim with gestation stalls is that it increases the stress of the pig, and that the pigs deserve to, or need to require the ability to socialize. With all studies in different journals and other kinds of other studies, that the only difference ever recorded with gestation stalls versus any other kind of gestation method is the level of cortisone, which they've used to measure stress. And actually, in comparing a gestation stall with a gestation pen, the actual stress level is actually recorded to be higher in a gestation pen versus a gestation stall. And even visually looking at these sows, you can see that the ones in the pens have nicks, bites, and the reason for this is a gestating sow is very territorial. She wants her own space and wants her own comfort. Another issue is with these that you know, there is no recorded difference in the productivity of the animal. There's no recorded difference in the health or the well-being of the animal. And so it's just something that really needs to be considered, because space is a precious commodity. You know, there will never be more space. We're only limited so much space. And so that's one reason it's a big issue. And it's just something that the consumers and producers both need to consider. A 3-ounce cooked serving of pork is about 123 calories, 29 calories from fat, 22.13 grams of protein, which is about half of your daily required value of protein. Also, it is packed full of thiamine, and it is packed full of other kinds of vitamins and minerals that you require. Pork is also a cheaper source of higher quality protein versus chicken than its competitors, such as beef. Pork production has a major impact on the world today. It is the second most consumed meat in the world. It is the third most consumed meat in the U.S. It has a feed conversion ratio of 2 to 1. So for every 2 pounds of feed, we get 1 pound of lean tissue growth. Also, pork production in the U.S. only accounts for 0.33% of the U.S.'s total carbon footprint.